Hey gang, Scott here. So this video, this is not going to be, fast-paced or mind-blowing. You're not going to see some technique that's going to make you go, wow, I got to go do that on my photo right away. Although I hope you'll get an idea of how I edit, and maybe you can incorporate it into your style of editing as well. I'm going to call this the slow edit because this is how I often edit photos. It's different than what you see on the YouTube channel all the time, right? YouTube, I'm trying to get to a point, show you how to do A, B, and C, and get to a finished photo. But in reality, it often takes a lot longer than a 5-minute snippet in a video. So I want to share this process that I go through with you. And like I said, it's going to be slow going here. Let's start with where I am in this photo at this moment in time. I have this image here, some cool mist and clouds all circling around these cliffs. A couple of trees had poked out. And here is the original. Not a lot of color going on. I don't mind the color palette, but I felt going black and white with it. So I've landed here. And if this were a normal YouTube video, you'd see me jump in and say, all right, now we're going to brush here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. In reality, what happens for me next is I'm sitting here. I'm looking at the photo. And if I'm in Lightroom, I hit the L key twice. So everything goes away and just the photo is on the screen. If I'm in another application, I'm just getting rid of as much of the distracting elements of the application, getting them off the screen, going to full screen mode, something where I just have the photo itself. And then I'm kind of just sitting back in the chair, and I'm not looking at the photo. I'll pick up my phone, I'll play a game, I'll read a news article, I'll do something like that. And after a few minutes, I'll turn back to the photo and go, all right, what do I really want to do? I've spent a little time away from this, and I want something else. What do I need to do for my finishing touches here? Back into editing, and I'll walk you through what I've kind of ultimately done. First is, like I said, I need more detail and jumping out of the rocks. Okay, went and added that change, and you've seen other videos I've done where it's range masks or brushing or gradients and clarity and texture. Those are all the things that we do, that the how do we get the next change that we want. What I'm doing here is talking more about my process of deciding what to do next. Fine, I've added that. I do the L key thing a couple of times again, and I'm back to not looking at the photo. Go answer an email, maybe go have a cup of coffee, whatever it is. I'm not spending active time with the photo. I turn back, say, all right, well, what do I need to do next? And I look at this one, and what did I end up doing next? It was the shadows at the bottom, deepening those. Let's turn that back on. And these are subtle changes, before and after. Just too much visual distraction down there. This is basically a little bit of a burn, all right? And so on and so forth. You're trying to get the idea here, where it's do a change, back away from the photo, this really slow edit process. And you can see I ended up with 6 different changes here. And each one of these probably represents 3 to 5 minutes, not of active editing, but of pausing and sitting back and saying, what else do I need? I darkened that upper left corner. I did more detail in the mist, a little more burning to focus attention to this area of the photo. And finally downplayed a little bit of the mist there. All of these little subtle changes before all of those and after. But the key thing is, I don't necessarily have the exact plan for what I'm going to do every step of the way. It's after I've done the basic processing, sit back and just go, what needs to happen next? And take a little pause from the photo. There are edits that I'll do that are much slower. Days, sometimes weeks. I'll get to a certain point in the image and take a break and then go back to it in a few days, or sometimes something else comes up, some other project comes up, go work on that for a bit, and then come back to the images that you hadn't quite finished. I think a while back I even did a podcast episode about this kind of process, but I realized I was doing it again, wanted to share it with you. And if you're seeing or watching videos or seeing how someone's going through this rapid fire edit, like, change this and then change this and then change this, and isn't it amazing? You've got this incredible photo. In practice, I'll do that occasionally if I know exactly what I want. but more often it's this slow edit process. So don't feel any like pressure or problems if you're taking your time through an edit, and that time could be minutes, it could be hours, it could be days or weeks, just depending on how often you want to take a break from the image. Hope you found it remotely interesting, and if you got questions, drop them below. Until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Have fun.